What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. I am so excited for today's episode because in today's episode, we're going to be doing a harvest video. That's right, finally a harvest video. I have had so many people ask me when we're going to do a harvest video. And the reason why we haven't done many is not because we don't want to, it's because the way we set up our garden this year. So I said in the beginning of the year that we were actually going to be setting up our garden to not have as many harvest videos, or not as many harvest videos, but as many big harvests that would warrant a harvest video. We've really just had a very nice prolonged harvest throughout the season. And if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, which you should, by the way, you've seen a lot of the things that we're harvesting. You know, a peach here, or a handful of beans there, or maybe a small bowl of cherry tomatoes. And those all do add up to a very beautiful prolonged harvest that we've eaten a ton from. And we've added up so far our total savings, our approximate savings from the garden. And we've estimated that we've saved around $900 already this year from our garden. And that's just incredible from a garden of this size. And so I am absolutely stoked about that $900 has been put back in our pockets because we didn't have to spend it at the grocery store. And the quality is so much better. And so what you see today is all organic, and what you see today can be done by you. And that's why we do these videos. That's why we do this whole channel, is to inspire you and motivate you, as well as give you the information to grow big or go home. The first thing to harvest is our peaches. All the peaches are ready to come off. They are beautiful, they're ripe. I want to show you what they look like. Check this out. Look at those peaches. Absolutely incredible. Something that I truly have taken for granted because I've never tried, except for last year. I mean, last year was the first year we tried homegrown peaches, but it's something that I definitely took for granted because we always get them from the store and they were always kind of bland, just kind of like sweet water almost, kind of like watermelons or strawberries. They were sweet, but they weren't flavorful. Try a homegrown peach. It'll change your life. Now they're probably close to one of my favorite, they're my favorite fruits of all time. So I'm really loving them. I'm so glad we planted 3 and they're doing really great. We're loaded up, so let's get harvesting. All right, so I just got all the peaches harvested. They pretty much all come at once when it comes to Red Havens. So we harvested all the peaches. And when I said I thought I was gonna have an epic harvest, didn't think it was gonna be quite this epic. Check it out. This is easily 90 pounds of peaches. It's so heavy that I can only lift it up for just a second, but oh, it is so full with peaches that this thing has to be close to 90 pounds. That was epic. So the next thing that has just been coming on like crazy is our cucumbers. Now these actually started out as volunteers. And remember I stated early in the year in a video called Why I Love Volunteers. I absolutely had no idea that they would be this prolific. In fact, this one plant here, let me show you. We're gonna harvest here in real time. Check it out up close. All right, so here is one cucumber. Beautiful. Here is 2 cucumbers. I like harvesting them small because they're really tender, they're really sweet, and I love them in salads like this. Before they get a little tougher skin, they're wonderful. Like I said, I don't know what variety this is, but see, it has the shape and the texture of a Bayat Alpha, but it has thorns, and Bayat Alpha doesn't have any thorns. So it's clearly a cross, which is to be expected, but it's kind of a nice cross. I don't know what it is. And like usual, we've got zucchini, which are huge and beautiful. And we love them like this because what we do is we actually hollow them out, fill them with rice, and then cook them only partially so they're still hard, but they're at least cooked. And it's an absolutely amazing dish. So love these just like this. And they're also great in zucchini bread. So get the most out of your zucchini plants. We also have our very first harvest of apples. These are Summer Crisp variety. They're beautiful and ready to come off. They're not huge, I know, but the fact of the matter is that they're organic, they're beautiful, and they're very, very delicious in an apple pie. Our pears are not quite ripe yet. They're gonna be about another month or so. The next thing to harvest, beans. I'll be honest, picking beans is definitely not one of my most favorite things to do in the garden because it's so labor intensive. But I also have to be honest and say that nothing really beats homegrown beans. The stuff in the store, they're limp. They're usually picked super unripe, and they're small, they're anemic, they're flavorless. So that's what I got. I got a big bowl of beans. There's probably close to 4 or 5 pounds of beans there. It's a nice haul there. So certainly can't complain with that, especially because we've already harvested from these beds at least 4 or 5 times now. So this was the biggest haul because we had a bunch of rain, and right after a bunch of rain, you usually get a bunch of produce. Actually, what I wanted to harvest was one of these cabbages here. These cabbages are easily the largest we've ever grown. And certainly they're ready to be harvested. So I'm gonna pick away these outer leaves here. Check that out. That is an absolutely beautiful head of cabbage. Easily 7 pounds. Wow, that sucker is hefty. All right, and here's the largest head of them all. This is the largest head. I'm gonna save the other ones, the other cabbages, for another time because they can go a little bit longer. But this is the largest head so far. Whoa, oh man, wow. Look at that sucker. That is a hefty head of cabbage. And as far as tomatoes go, absolutely incredible. We've been harvesting non-stop from these. And check out these trusses. Just look at the sheer amount of tomatoes. I mean, it's not even able to pick it up, the magnitude of the amount of tomatoes on these plants here. And it just goes up and up and up. And there's still flowers, and it's exceeding the height of our stakes already. And we still have another month in our growing season before they even stop growing. So that is outstanding. Not to mention, the other one too is just the same. Tomatoes are everywhere. And if we come over here, the case is also the same with our larger tomatoes. Wow. It's so heavy that it's actually beginning to pull the whole plant down. That is just outstanding. But look. That is the power of trifecta right there. I gotta stake these plants up. They are due. Same thing with these ones. Look at these beefsteak. Look at how massive these are this year. I mean, that's no joke. They're so heavy that they're falling right on the ground. Look at that. That is a hefty tomato. As far as our black crim go, they're loaded. Some cracking. We've had some real dry weather, but not major at all. So beautiful. Even on my indigo rose, check out the tomatoes on this plant. I've even got a few ripe ones in here. One last little show and tell here for the tomatoes before we move on are these ones right here, these large red cherry tomatoes. Have you ever seen so many tomatoes in your life? And check out these. These are the sun golds. The sun golds are just blowing my mind. These Kelsey onions, they're no joke. Look at that. Those are some serious onions. And as for the corn, we're not quite ready yet. We still need about 1.5, 2 weeks or so before we start getting some corn. They're starting to produce, but they're not yet ready. The silks are just still too green, but you can see they're starting to size up. We're starting to get some pretty good size ears of corn in here. As far as peppers go, we're getting, but not like we did in years past. The weather was pretty harsh on them, but still, I cannot complain with some beautiful, fully ripe orange peppers. So check that out. The chamomile is just doing lovely. We're gonna have a chamomile harvest for some chamomile tea. And the sweet potatoes, oh yeah. We're still getting peas. Can you believe it? This method of growing peas in between our kale and our Swiss chard, definitely a method that we're going to adopt for all future seasons. This has just been an absolutely amazing year for peas, and one that we have certainly far exceeded any expectations we had, because we're getting peas on our first planting of peas into August. That is unheard of. So here's what we got after about 1.5 hours of harvesting. Pretty incredible. I actually have 5 giant zucchini in the house on the stove, as well as a couple pounds of Swiss chard and a couple pounds of kale. And the peas, they kept falling through the cracks, so I took those inside as well. But other than that, that's what we got. So there you go. There is a harvest video for you, and a pretty epic one if I don't say so myself. I am really stoked about this. This was not at all what I was expecting. We are just absolutely overflowing with produce. And so we have about 300 pounds of produce we harvested today, which was well above anything we've ever harvested before this year. So right now we're roughly at around $900 of grocery bills saved through food that we've grown ourselves. And this total from what we harvested today, just a rough estimate, would put us right around $1,300 worth of money saved from our garden. And so I really hope that you are trying a garden yourself this year. It does not have to be a big one. Start small. Start very small if you don't have one yet already. And I know, even a bowl of beans like this can be so rewarding, and you don't need that many plants to get a bowl of beans that big. So grow something if you don't have anything already. It is just such a rewarding experience, and I hope you all have been inspired to do something. If you all enjoyed, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you're not yet already, because we're still doing videos daily. As long as the weather cooperates, we're going daily. So I hope you all will subscribe and share this video with your friends. As always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home, because you can do it. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.